We're in today with the RTX 3060. It's got 12 gig of VRAM, 3584 shaders, DirectX 12.2, 192 bits, 1320 megahertz on the core clock with 1875 megahertz on the memory. This one has 192 bits bus width. So theoretically, this video card, it's quite fantastic when it comes to performance. But today we're going to pair it up with this i7 9th Gen. 8 cores, 8 threads. Maybe this video card is going to bottleneck or the CPU is going to bottleneck. I don't know. We're going to see how it's running with this game. And maybe we get the opportunity to see something different because we have a lot of VRAM. The question is, it's enough? This 12 gig of VRAM. So what do you think? Let's jump in. All right, let's jump in and see how it's running. I don't even know where to begin, but I know I will start from the bottom. So I will start with lowest detail with render scale on 66. So no upscaling and NVIDIA reflex low latency. Let's see, are we in low details? Yes, we're in low details. So I'm going to see how it's running on 720p. I mean 66% render scale with 1080p. Okay, this is cool. This is really cool, seriously. It feels very snappy. But I want to see some averages. I'm outside and after walking around, apparently I'm still with 19 FPS on minimal. This is not okay for this resolution because in the future I will have a lot of problems, seriously. And now I'm getting what, 19 FPS on minimal with 41 on 1%. Nope. That is wrong. Very interesting. This is a very cool video card. If it's got like 2 fans on it, both of them are on 30%, and it's keeping the video card on 49 degrees. This is banana. It's MSI. It's MSI. They're the coolest video card ever. You know. So the system RAM apparently it's using. What, 16 gig of system RAM? Damn, 16 gig already. Nevertheless, we got a lot of FPS, around 100, and it's gonna be a treat to see this game running with this video card. Let's change some details. I'm gonna put it on 100% and see how it's running now. Alright, with 100% render scale, apparently we are getting a lot of FPS, seriously. 70, 80 FPS, let's see what is the average after we are going to the quest to see Nati. So I managed to have outside 88 FPS on average with 34 on minimals and 50 on 1%. This is an interesting performance because at the same time the CPU is delivering lots of performance with only 60-70 watts, barely used on half. So I'm guessing the CPU it's more than enough, you know, even though the temperature is like 40-50 degrees, it stays around 50 degrees, and I actually like that temperature. On the GPU side, the core is running on what, 86%. Oh, that's a lot, seriously, considering it's an RTX 3060. I'm just lucky because this is an MSI model and it's keeping the core on 56 degrees, even though the fans on only on 30% load. I'm on medium details, 1080p, no upscale, and I'm already with the core on 95% load. So it is possible. It is possible, but the problem is it's only the core. It's not the memory problem here. Okay, so yeah, this is interesting. I thought the VRAM will be here to save us, but it's only using 4.8 gig of VRAM. The GPU managed to reach 150 on the wattage, you know, and it's quite interesting to see this amount of wattage consumption and only 60 degrees on the video card. 84 FPS on average, 46 on minimal, 62 on 1%, and the CPU still on the same, like 60-65 watts consumption. 70, I actually seen 70, but the temperature is good, you know, the load is not that big, and 50-16 gig of system RAM, it's okay, you know. We are in high details. On high details, apparently we are still on top of 60 FPS. I'm not gonna lie, I was expecting to to reach like 50 or 60 FPS already with this amount of bottleneck from the GPU. Apparently in the castle it's a bit more demanding when it comes to FPS. I'm averaging around 80 FPS with 21 on minimals and 35 on 1%. This is not a good number, you know. I'm guessing if you're going outside it will be more FPS, but at the same time I'm looking now at the FPS and it's kind of horrible, seriously. The frame time is okay, but 23, 25 is not okay. Some cases I actually get more average and I don't understand why. The core on the GPU, it's maxed out. I got more VRAM used apparently, 6.4, 6.3, 6.4 gig of VRAM used and 150 watts. I mean, you see the idea with the core on maximum and more VRAM used, it's you can deduce from that the TDP will be higher, you know. Ultra details with this RTX 3060. Now the core is loaded, I'm not gonna lie, the core is mega loaded. I got 8 gig of VRAM consumption. It's getting there. If I use some ray tracing, it will be bananas, you know. So I'm on maximum details now without ray tracing, you know. So it will be fantastic to actually see in the near future how it's working with the ray tracing. The CPU is still the same, averaging really nice on minimals and 1%, 45 and 62 with minimals and 1%. The CPU is still on 50-60 wattage, so there is no complaint with the CPU. I don't know, maybe it's because I'm inside here. That's why I'm guessing I have this low amount of system RAM use. So hopefully in the future, when I'm leaving the building, it will be okay. Only now I'm starting to see the 35% on load on the fan in order to keep this video card on 59 degrees. And the rest is just history, seriously. Everything works flawlessly with this video card. It delivers, it's working, but very soon we need to see how it's running with ray tracing, because that's the daddy of this. Maximum details, ray tracing on ultra, and we get 40 FPS on average. Look at it, how much is lagging. I got like 25 frame time and it's not okay, you know. 40 FPS on average. What? The core is mega loaded. What's wrong? 80-90%. I think the core is loaded. VRAM, what's wrong? What do you need? 6.8 gig of VRAM, 90% core load on the GPU, 140-50 watts. I think the GPU can work much better than this, seriously. But nevertheless, I'm gonna see 7.4 gig of VRAM already jumped in. Look at it, 7.5. Let's go into the castle and see how much we can load the video card. 26 on 1% and 21 on minimal in ROK. Oh my god, the drop was huge. After settling into the game, I managed to realize it's around 30-40 FPS on average in between. That's the best number that the GPU can do like this with maximum details, maximum with ray tracing. It's not ideal on the minimals and 1% because it's 19 and 21. Frame time is not okay. The CPU is still on the same level, 50% maximum with 60 watts. But now, yeah, apparently it doesn't want to pass more than that. On the system RAM, apparently it's 16.6 gig of system RAM, 16.7. That's good. But the GPU core, it's not maxed out and it's 36. I don't get it. Why is it lagging if it's not maxed out? Okay, with maximum details, with ray tracing, what I'm going to do is go and use upscale. NVIDIA DLSS. I'm going to put it on balance and see what's going on. No sharpening, VSync is off, everything is off, yes? All right, this is promising. I got 60 FPS with NVIDIA DLSS on balance. Maximum details on ultra and ray tracing on ultra with balance DLSS. This is a good number. I like it, 60 FPS. 65. This is an important settings because it allows me to play the game with a lot of details and still manage to deliver the FPS. This is in the castle where the 1% and minimals are not that great with me, you know. So in this case, with this amount of details, I will really like to consider how it's working with, how shall I say, with other DLSS options, because it will be fantastic to understand the whole amount of settings, you know, which one is beneficial. I like how it's working. 50 FPS is not that bad, so I will say it's fantastic. Let's see how it's going to work with ultra performance on NVIDIA DLSS with maximum details. All right, around 50 FPS on average, considering on what preset do we have, like maximum details with ultra performance on DLSS. I will never use this combination. I would rather have no upscaling and lower details because it looks much better. But nevertheless, I wanted to see how it's performing like this, because on this occasion, I get 45 FPS on average, 16 FPS on minimal, 29 on 1%. This is no. No, you know, the CPU, it's on 60 watts, 64, 65 watts. It's okay, you know, considering it's only eating 50, 55 degrees, you know, and barely reaching 60, 65 on the core loads, you know, on the CPU. System RAM, apparently we are on 17.3 gig of system RAM. That is good. You need that 32 gig in order to play the game. And if you're interested on the GPU side, we get like 60-70% load on the core. This is great for the video card, you know, but I got 10.2 gig of VRAM used with this amount of settings. Definitely nothing to complain about this video card. The video card is huge. It consumes not a lot of power. It's very cool in both ways. It's got 12 gig of VRAM, that is apparently enough. The core clock, it's nearly to the limit, and I'm hoping in the future it will be okay, you know, when it comes to being loaded, you know. Hopefully the VRAM will help, but I don't know, the future will tell us. But aside from that, I think even today the video card is still valid. It's a very good video card considering this is an MSI.